there, warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive and I'm Meghna Deka. Well, viewers, people say that in India, cricket is like a religion. But is that the problem? That we forget at times that our cricketers are mere mortals? Well, we ask you this because Virat Kohli was nearly mobbed. The Indian captain, Rohit Sharma, and wicket-keeper batter Rishabh Pant were allegedly heckled. They were body-shamed in Australia. Can you believe it? Even Shubman Gill, he was targeted during the training at the nets. Over 3,000 fans unleashed chaos on our Indian cricketers, and all of this during net practice. Can you even believe that over 3,000 people turned up for net practice? When it came to the Australian side's net practice, barely there were a handful of them. Well, this happened ahead of the Adelaide Test in Australia yesterday. Well, Team India is currently, remember, touring Australia for the Border-Gavaskar Trophy Test series against Australia. The second test begins on Friday in Adelaide Oval, and there's a lot of history when India play Australia, especially when it comes to Adelaide. Now, during the Australian training session, not more than 70-odd people had turned up. But during India's net session, you had over 3,000 people who were there to watch, heckle, and harass the players. It turned into a complete nightmare. So we want to ask you, is it time to ban open practice? Call us and you can share your views with us on the numbers there flashing on your screens. Now remember, Team A had faced a similar incident earlier in 2012 in Melbourne during a net practice as well. In fact, Indian cricketers Rohit Sharma and Praveen Kumar, they were involved in a verbal spat with the Team India fans who were directly abusive. They raised chants and slogans at them as well, which led to a heated argument. Let's remind you what happened back in 2012. This was in Melbourne.
को चिल्लाओ जाके तू मुझे बोल रहा है कि मैं क्या हूँ क्या है इधर आके नहीं कर रहा है भाई मैंने भी आपको गाली नहीं दिया तू उधर से क्या बोलता पंजाबी से बात कर होता कौन है तू हाँ मैं कुछ नहीं हूँ हाँ तो फिर तो चुप रहे बस डिफरेंस ये है कि आपने दारू पी के आया है तू दारू पी के आया है नहीं कुछ नहीं वो पिया हुआ है चल छोड़ो दूसरी बार बोला ना बैट मारूंगा उधर आगे शायद बोल रहा हूँ मैं दारू पी के होश नहीं रहता ना तेरा अरे प्रवीण भाई अरे छोड़ो भाई नहीं तुम लोग को समझता नहीं तुम लोग इंडियन हो यार सही बात है यार आप हमारे गेस्ट हो यार शांति से ना प्रैक्टिस करते रहते हो ना खेलने देते हो तुम लोग बताता हूँ छोड़ो
Well, this behaviour from the fans has resulted in BCCI having a discussion with Cricket Australia to allow them to practice behind closed doors to avoid such distractions in the future. But we want to ask, is it time to completely ban this kind of open viewing during net practice? Because, as we're just showing you, this hasn't happened for the first time. And what really is the problem? Why is it that it becomes such a big issue? If there is a victory for India, the entire country would together celebrate. But when the team is in performance, why is there this kind of anxiety within the fans? Let me put that question across to our panelists. Today, joining us on the show, we have Arun Pandey, a former cricketer, the producer of the movie MS Dhoni, also the chairperson of Riti Sports Management. Also, we have Joseph Hoover, who's joining us, a cricket writer. I'm going to come to you first, Arun Pandey. This is very interesting. Because time and again we talk about how for us cricket is a religion. But do fans forget that these cricketers are not gods, that they are mere mortals like we are? There will be ups and downs. Why do we take it this seriously?
Meghna, the most important thing is that cricketers, they go there to play, highest level of cricket, and they want, serious practice at, practice wickets. Mm-hmm. You cannot push them inside, inside indoors practice wicket first.
Okay.
Second, the most important thing is that technically they need to feel ground. They cannot be secluded from, being inside, because they need to go and play in open ground. So, the most important thing is technically they want open wicket, open ground to play, practice, and feel the environment and get, they can adopt environment, and that's why you can see the performance, how cricketers perform. Second, now let's speak about fans. Fans, they are very, when they see their icons, their adrenaline are very high, and if they are in senses, they will shout and everything. So we need to make a balance between both. We should make make distance between practice session and people who are coming to watch them. I think better to keep distance between cricketers when they are doing practice and these fans. Even I was getting messages yesterday from my old friends from Adelaide that they were there and they were asking that, are you around or not? I said, listen, I'm not there for for any matches. So means people are eager to reach out to player anyway.
Yeah.
So
anyway, they are very open with their emotions, if we can call it that. But here's the problem. Joseph Hoover, one of the things that the BCCI officials have been saying is that Virat Kohli and Shubman Gill could have been mobbed because there were so many people during the practice session. Some of them were even doing Facebook Live with friends. They were talking loudly just as the batter took his stance. One supporter also continuously urged a player to say hi to him in Gujarati. Another particular cricketer was body shamed as well, because at the end of it, it was allegedly players being very disturbed by the rude, insensitive comments made by the fans. This is what the BCCI said. A lot of it to do with their physical fitness as well. Joseph Hoover, psychologically, this is going to have an impact. If the players ahead of a really big tournament, when they haven't done very well with Australia in the past, for them going into this test series with this kind of pressure, with this kind of abuses from their own fans. These are not Australian fans, these are fans of India.
This is very unfortunate that when we were playing in Perth before the team played the first test, which we won handsomely, they had banned viewing of our Indian nets. I'm quite surprised that the Cricket Australia allowed this to happen.
Okay.
There should have been some communication, because initially the BCCI had restricted fans coming around watching our players play in Perth during practice. And now this has happened. This is something very disturbing, because cricketers also, as you rightly said, are human beings. They also get hurt. If somebody is going to say something about us, we definitely react. These are guys gone there to perform, and they're on a roll now, especially beating Australia by 295 runs is a huge achievement. And when they are in that kind of environment, the kind of situation they are in, for fans to go and behave as rudely as they've done and body shame some of our cricketers, the same cricketers, if they talk about Rohit or Rishabh, they've been performing. Let's respect that.
Absolutely.
And I've been associated with this cricket team. I used to travel a lot with the Indian team earlier. So I've seen how things were then. But unfortunately, things have gone a little out of hand now. More number of people are becoming more and more abusive, because they don't seem to understand that the cricketers often fail as well. They can't be performing all the time.
Yes.
So this is something which really hurts, because I've been on the tour with the players and I know how sensitive they are. And
Joseph Hoover, you said that since you've toured with the team quite extensively, tell us, how do the cricketers handle this kind of pressure? Not only when they're doing well, but also when they are not doing too well. Because there have been, let's not forget, unfortunate instances as well in the past where their families too have been targeted quite viciously at that.
Yeah, I would recall the 2003 World Cup. We were in Harare when some of the cricketers' houses were attacked. Even Rahul Dravid's house was attacked. So was Ganguly's house in Calcutta attacked. So the players only came and told the media. I was part of the media entourage there. And they said, we want to appeal to our fans. Even Sachin said, we need to tell this to the public. this is just one-off match. We'll go on to win this tournament, which we nearly did. We nearly won the 2003 World Cup. We were in the final. And they were all disturbed because just imagine you're sitting, you're playing for your country, giving your best. And then you have news coming in from home that people came and stoned their house and their families have been rattled. So that really impacts them. And they were not very happy at all. They were always trying to express, at least through the media, let's reach out to people. So we did our best. But if you see over a period of time that I've seen, there were times when players were respected. They're given the distance. The crowd management was there. But for this to happen in Australia, I don't know why this has happened, because I feel this could have been purposely done by the Cricket Australia just to rattle.
That's very interesting, because Australia is known for its mind games.
Absolutely.
This wouldn't be the first. This wouldn't be the first, Arun Pandey, would it?
Yeah, you are correctly mentioned. I mean, I was ready to face this question that they always play mind game, because they know that Indians are very emotional, and they I mean, and after winning test match, their emotions are very high, and definitely this is something which will. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, if you talk about 3,000 spectator. There, in that 3,000 spectator, there will be 10 people who were doing this kind of stuff.
Right.
Not 2,990.
Absolutely. I accept that, because when it comes to Team India and the fans that they are very emotive. However, not everyone is abusive. We must make that distinction. Let me, I'm sorry to interrupt you, gentlemen, because several of our viewers have been calling in. They also want to connect with us and tell us what their view are. Let me go across to Jaya. Captain Jaspal is also there with us. Jaya, our viewer calling us from Mumbai. Go ahead, Jaya.
Yes, yes. Heckling is totally unacceptable. The Cricket Australia should apologize and ensure that such an incident does not recur. Open practice sessions with fans watching should be addressed immediately. Sports are meant to bring countries closer and not make them hostile. The fans, when negative, could discourage the players who performed excellently in the first test in Australia, beating the Australians.
Absolutely. When this had happened in Perth, as Joseph Hoover was also pointed out, why were they allowed to enter this area where the cricketers were there? Why was there spectators allowed inside the stadium at this time if they weren't at the time of Perth? Is that part of a larger mind game? Well, we'll never know. Meanwhile, Captain Jaspal, our viewers calling us from Rohtak. Go ahead, Captain Jaspal.
Meghna, good evening to your panelists. I've been following the game since 55. And you know, it is a part and parcel of the Australian strategy that you upset your opponent, whether it's a batsman or a bowler. If they lose momentarily their concentration, they are gone. And it is a psychological warfare that is played by the nation, their press, their media, their organizers, their hotels, everywhere, so that you are mentally upset.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, because this goes, Captain Jaspal, what you've just said goes exactly with what the BCCI said, that the players were very disturbed by the rude and insensitive comments which were coming in from their fans, isn't it?
Meghna, you know,
Yes,
Australian follow everything is fair in love and war. For them, even sport is war. So they follow this. If they lost match even on that, fiery Perth wicket, which is they are not able to digest. I mean, Joseph knows this. I mean, the kind of Perth wicket was. I mean, it's a new Indian team which is, I mean, dominating, and it's heartening to see. And this is something which which is, I mean, unnecessary topic came and took all the credit today.
So let's just end the show with a quick cheer for Team India. Arun Pandey, what would you like to say to the team?
I mean, I'm so happy for them, and I know that they are very strong mentally also and emotionally also. So they will definitely do well.
They'll definitely do well. Joseph Hoover, will we reply on the pitch?
I mean, our boys are smart. They have been in this situation for a very, very long time. they would just ignore it. This is just a one-off thing. When personal remarks are made, you definitely tend to think, but they will forget that and get on to...
Forget it and focus on the game and reply on the pitch, isn't it? Thank you so much, gentlemen. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. With that, a short break.